Hi, and welcome to your January 10-minute fitness routine. This is week 2, day 1 of week 2 if you're just joining us, and today is upper body, but we're focusing on the back and strengthening into the back today. So we're going to have some stretches and some very strong strengthening movements, but this is going to be a short practice. You can do it. It's only for about 10 minutes. So once you join me, we're going to get started on our mat and come into a downward facing dog just to open up. So let's come and push back onto our hands, push into our arms, open up the shoulders. Feel the shoulders spread wide across the back, and then we're going to start to pedal out into the feet. Just kind of gauging our strength and our body awareness as we start this very short practice. It's good to just always start the day even with a downward facing dog. Feeling into the back body, the hamstrings, and into the arms and shoulders. Let's come to stillness. We'll take one deep breath in. Exhale it out through the mouth. Another deep inhale in. And exhale it out through the mouth. When you're ready, we're going to roll through, come up onto our tiptoes, come and roll into a plank pose. We're going to pass through plank, bending the knees and lowering ourselves all the way down onto our mat, onto our bellies. So these first few moves are definitely going to work the upper back and the strength in your back. We're going to start. You have two options. The harder version is to keep the hands behind the back of the head, fingertips touching or fingers interlaced. Or you can come into your baby cobra with the hands just in front of the shoulders. Whichever version you're taking, we're going to start by lifting and then lowering the chest and the shoulders up off of the mat. We're going to go for 15 reps. So lift and lower for 1 and 2. Pause at the top. Feel strong in the upper body, but take a moment if you need to rest. That's 4. And 6. 8 as we lower. Lifting for 10, lowering down. We have 5 left. For 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. From here, let's go ahead and bring the hands in front of the forehead. You can rest the forehead down to the mat for a brief pause. Open up the feet, keep them nice and wide so you have room for the lower back. And from here, we're going to come into a version of Superman. We're going to extend the arms out in front of us. The gaze is just slightly down at the mat so that you have a nice smooth back of the neck instead of little wrinkles at the back of your neck. And we're going to begin by lifting the opposite arm and the opposite leg. Let's start by lifting the right arm and the left leg as the chest lifts. Try not to use too much of the left hand to help push yourself up. Try to keep that strength into the core and into the back. And then let's lower down. Gaze comes all the way down to the mat. Lifting the opposite left arm and the right leg. And then lowering down. We're going to take 15 reps on each side. That's number 2 for the right side. 2 for the left. 3 as we lift. And lower. Lift up for 4. And lower. Lift up for 5. And lower. You're probably feeling it in your back. These are so important for maintaining the strength of the back body. A very good way to isolate the back, even the low back. You don't need to lift very high. Let's try to protect the low back. Really focus on lifting the shoulders and the chest up and off of the mat. We have 5 more reps on each side. For 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's lower down. As we finish off on the left side, bring the hands underneath the forehead. You can also wiggle the hips from left to right. That can help you release some of the tension maybe that you have into the back. Take a deep inhale. Feel the ribs expand, and exhale, release it out. When you're ready, we're going to bring the arms back out. We're going to take 10 full Superman positions by lifting the arms and the legs at the same time. Doesn't need to be super high. Keep the back of the neck smooth as you lift for 1 and lower. Lift for 2 and lower. Lift for 3 and lower down. Up for 4 and release. Really reach from finger to toes. Halfway's there. We're 6 and down. Lift for 7 and lower. And the last 3, 2, and 1. And lower it down. Again, bring the back of the hands underneath the forehead, and let's just shift the hips a little bit, give them a wiggle. Before we move on to our next strengthening exercise, we're going to take a quick stretch into the shoulders. We're going to take what would be called in yin, a broken wing stretch. So we're going to take that right arm out to a 90-degree angle. The left hand can go underneath the left shoulder. We're going to push ourselves over to the right, coming onto that right hip. And then maybe the left foot comes behind you as we open into the front of that right shoulder. Take another inhale here. And as you release, we're going to take that same movement over onto the left. The left arm comes out to a 90-degree cactus shape. Place the right hand down beside you as you push and roll onto the left hip, taking the right foot behind. And then open into the front of that left shoulder. On the next exhale, we're going to release. We're going to make this a more fluid movement as we rock over onto the right shoulder, bringing the right arm out to a cactus shape and roll onto that right hip. Left foot goes behind. And then as we exhale, coming through center, we're going to push over. And then inhale, open up, coming onto that left hip. We'll take that 2 more times on each side. Coming over to the right. Just a nice, fun, playful movement. Opening up into the arms. Feeling like it's almost a dance with the legs and the hips. Last time onto the right side. Pushing into the mat with the left hand. And then coming back over to the left. And then we'll return back to center. From center here, we're going to push into the mat, and we're going to push off and come up into a kneeling position. From this kneeling position, we're just going to start off straight with the torso so that we're just kneeling nice and straight and tall here. And then I want you to think about coming to about a 45-degree position with the torso. So the glutes are going to push back a little bit. You're going to have a little bend into the knees. And then now there's going to be more weight coming forward towards the front of the mat. As we do this, we're going to bring the arms out to a low V shape with the thumbs kind of pulling up more towards the ceiling, pinkies down towards the floor. And from here, we're going to pulse it out for a full minute. As we pulse it out, we're going to draw the shoulder blades together, like you're trying to squeeze a pencil in between the shoulder blades for each pulse. We're here for 1 minute. We're not trying to work towards any number. I do have a little clock beside me to keep me honest so we don't go any extra. I don't make you do more than you need to here because trust me, a full minute will be enough. We're just going to activate in between the shoulder blades. Keep the core strong. Draw the navel in so that you're supported and we're not bouncing all over as we're in this position. We have about 20 seconds left, so we're almost at the end of it here. You're probably feeling it into the triceps, into the shoulders, maybe even the front of the shoulders a little bit. And the last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Very good. Let's keep that diagonal into the torso. Keep the core drawing in. From here, we're going to reach out above the head with the fingertips, reaching for the sky and the upper arms alongside the ears. And then we're going to draw the elbows back behind the back, feeling the shoulder blades again squeeze together as the hands come right in front of the shoulders. Let's do that again one more, slow, reaching out, staying strong with the core, so it's a little bit of core work as well, and then drawing the elbows in. And when you're ready, we're going to extend and reach. 1 full minute here. Extend, pull back. Extend, pull back. Stay steady in your torso. Reach it out and pull, reach and pull. You got this. We have about 30 more seconds. Even just keeping the arms lifted can be very tiring, but we got this. We're here. Not much longer to go. We're going to take the last 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. From here, let's bring the hands or the arms back into a cactus shape. So the elbows at about a 90-degree angle. And we're going to take just a fly position or a fly movement as we keep the elbows in cactus and just draw them together towards the midline so that they touch and the forearms reach together. Let's open up for 1. And close. Open up for 2 and close. 3 and close. 4 and close. 5 and close. 6 and close. We're going to go for 15. That's 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Very good. From here, let's just come back into a tabletop, come onto our hands and knees. And we're going to get set up for puppy pose. Take a nice little delicious stretch after that upper body work. So your puppy pose, your hips are aligned directly above the knees. And then we're going to start to walk the arms out. Stretch into the front of the shoulders. Allow the forehead to come down to the mat. Take a deep inhale. And exhale, release it out. Feel the head and just stay heavy. The chest maybe reaches for the mat a little bit closer. On the next inhale, we're going to come up onto the fingertips of the left hand. We're going to revolve the chest so that the chest starts to turn towards the left. Maybe you take a little peek underneath that left armpit and then feel the stretch into the front of that right shoulder deepen as we take a revolved puppy pose. Inhale, pass through center, flatten out that left hand. From here, we're going to come over to the right as we lift up the right fingertips. Pretend that you have a little cupcake or something you don't want to smush underneath your fingertips, and then look underneath the right armpit. As we pause here in this puppy pose, furthering the stretch into that left armpit. Just feels so good, especially after doing that upper body work. And when you're ready, let's come back through puppy. You can start to walk the hands back in and then come back into a kneeling position. from this kneeling position, we're actually going to come back onto our heels. And we're going to take more of a fluid movement to come into our camel pose. Camel pose will be the height or near the end of our sequence for today. So to come into camel pose, I always like to take this fluid movement instead of just completely reaching all the way back for the heels. So I like to come into just this waving motion of bringing the hands, allowing them to trace a big circle, and then maybe as you come towards the right, reaching for that right heel, allowing the left arm to come up overhead as you push out with the hips, taking almost a half camel, and then allowing the hips to sink back as you reach and wave the arms out in front of you again, and then reach for the left heel. Allow the right arm to come up and over. Just this beautiful, graceful dance as we flow into camel pose. Moving with your own space, your own breath. Coming up as high as you feel is necessary. Maybe on this last rotation, you stay with your camel pose, keep the left hand grounded onto the left heel, and then perhaps reach for the right heel with the right hand. As we're in our camel pose, let's lift with the chest, open the heart. You can keep the neck in a neutral shape. Push forward with the hips. So we're stretching into the front of the quads. Now for a little strengthening into our camel pose. Camel itself is a challenge, but if you've made it here, maybe you can try to go a little bit more deeply. Lift the right arm, reach it straight up to the ceiling. And then lower the right hand back down. Switch as we come to reach the left hand up towards the ceiling. So you're going to feel the quads work a little bit in this, especially as we make the switch to hold the back bend to keep yourself supported. Switching from right to the left and then back to the right. Once more to the left and then back to the right. And then we're going to end on the left, return back to camel. From your camel pose, if you want to deepen, we're going to go one step deeper and reaching the right arm behind you, creating more weight behind the body, much more challenge. And then switch it out for the left. Let's do that once more to the right and then to the left. Once more right side. Once more left. And then let's return back to camel. Holding in your camel, let's take an inhale. Exhale it out. You can release by taking your right hand, bring it straight out in front of you. Feel like you're pulling or trying to pull onto a rope in front of the room, and then lift yourself up to an upright position. From here, let's sit back, sink back onto your heels. Take a breath, take a moment. Just in hero pose. Before you do anything else, allow the spine just to readjust and recalibrate after those deep back bends and also all of that upper body work. You can tell I'm a little bit winded. Heart openers are very energizing and they definitely take some out of you. It's almost like doing instant cardio. So as you take a moment or two here to rest, think about maybe hitting play on this video again. It's short. You can do it. You can strengthen your upper body in just 10 to 15 minutes a day. And I hope you come back for more. We do have sequences, short ones like this, every day, Monday through Friday for the whole month of January. And tomorrow, if you're with me, I believe it is glutes. So hopefully you return for more fun and some little variation into your yoga practice this entire month of January. We can keep it short. We can keep it fun. As always, have a great day. Make it a good one. Bye.